Okay, so I'm making this video because this is our pretty much our last day here, and one of the things that was bothering me before I got here, that like I knew I would feel like this when it was time to leave. It's very, very interesting how you can't miss something that you've never experienced. And that's kind of where I am. I literally feel sick. Like having to leave here. Like my kids are back home, and like I'm happy to go back home and see them. But at the same exact time, like, it's the most sickening feeling to have to leave where you know it's home and then travel back to a land where your people have been exiled to. And then there's people who live here who are completely defiling and desecrating the Most High's land, and it's just absolutely terrible. Like I woke up this morning, and right over here it's morning, of course, and like I couldn't sleep. Like my stomach was hurting, thinking about having to leave here and go back there. And it's so sad because you cannot miss something you've never seen. It's like, really, it's necessary to see it because you have to feel like this. Like, you have to. But it's really true. You can't miss something you've never experienced. So I know how so many people at home feel like, oh, I'm fine here and I don't want to leave. And I know how our ancestors probably felt. And I got up this morning and I was reading the book of Nehemiah. And it was interesting that they went through so much to get back. And I don't know, it was just a lot. And hearing that, the idea of the remnant, and just, I don't know. I wanted to make this because I mean, it's the worst part of the trip, but it's the most important part because you don't. I mean, people travel all the time, and you don't travel to places and then feel bad when it's time to leave. Like it's almost like you're ready to leave, and I am not ready to go home. Like, cause it's not home. Like you don't know it's not home until you've been here and you know what home is, and you know you can see through all of the crap that's fed to you. um yeah, it's absolutely, like, I don't know, I really don't even have words, and you guys listen to me all the time and I have plenty of words. I don't even have words for how I feel, except for just sick, like literally sick, like I could throw up sick. Like we have to get it together. There's no other way to remedy the problem except for us getting it together. Like we have to turn back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. There's no other way, because you don't know the blessings. And this land is not even what it was. Like, he hasn't even restored it to what it is. And just being here and experiencing just the remnant of our history, because remember, crafty counsel has been taken to cover up a lot of things, but being here and just seeing just a glimpse of what it is yeah, I don't know, like, we have to, we don't have another choice. Nothing else is going to work for us, like, absolutely nothing. And the longer we search outside of the scriptures for our remedy, the longer we stay there, the longer our children are murdered, the longer our women are missing, the longer our men are kept in prison. And like, it's like the Most High is like, come on, like, it's too easy. It's just way too easy. Like, it's way too easy. There's no excuse. There's not anymore. Not anymore. We don't value our lives and our captivity. We act like animals. And even those of us who are here and have returned here, the reality is they're still waiting on us that are there to get our stuff together, because the Most High can't move until you guys who are there are until you begin to be obedient. There's no, families don't move without one another. And you have the mouthpiece of the Most High in the States silent and completely dumbfounded by just pure wickedness. And you have our people here suffering, waiting for us to get it together, and it's not fair. It's absolutely not fair. Yeah, so it's really time to return back. There's everything else has failed us, and he's still calling and still beckoning us to come back, and we're still rejecting it. But the condition hasn't changed for our people, and then to have to go back there and live like that with all of those luxuries, we're still completely lost. And yeah, it's just, we have to get it together. So I'm coming home. I don't want to. Not even a little bit. But I have to, because I have to get back to being a mom. But my children will be here. And I challenge you all to make sure that your children get here and that they're able to experience the same way. I don't think there's any, I mean, I'm surveying, been thinking about a lot of stuff, and I've been looking through scripture, and I don't know of a time in scripture where, and if somebody does, you can let me know, where technology and and this level of travel was possible, to where a person who had been exiled can visit home and then can't stay. It's like being on some cruel form of house arrest, where where it's like, here, go look at it. Like, I mean, I could only imagine how Moshe felt when he couldn't get into the promised land, and I was like, you can see it, but you're not going, and don't ask me again. It had to be the most painful feeling ever And we have it so much worse that you have people who have the opportunity to come and see it and won't. But our children need to know, and they need to know it's here, and they need to know it's theirs, because believe me, had I known at 5 and 6 and 3 that I had a home, things would have been a lot different. And so, while we can, and while we're able, and while the Most High is still, even in all of our wickedness, being merciful and allowing us to see it, we should. And he said he would. I mean, it's so funny, because the worst part about it is you're being provoked with another nation. You have people literally here, like, mimicking our culture. You have women with head wraps like they're from Africa, men wearing locks like they have locks, and there's a form of arrogance that is just out of this world. And you're looking, you're like, wow, if I can just get my people to feel the way that they feel about themselves in this land, what would the difference be? Yeah. I don't know. So pray for me. It's gonna be a long ride back. I mean, it's interesting. I talk about a lot about the whole idea of about, you take a bunch of stuff like dirt or whatever, you put it in a bottle, you shake it up, and while you're here, it's just like everything is coming in, and it's getting an overflow of all this stuff, and then immediately when you get ready to have to sit on a 10-hour flight, things start to settle, and you think about all the places and the people and all the stuff you've experienced, and you're like, whew, now I have to leave. Like, now it's time to go. And leaving home outside of leaving my children was, effortless. Like, I don't feel anything about home, about the States in that capacity. But getting ready to leave here, it literally feels like your heart is being ripped out of your chest. That's the easiest way to put it. So, pray for me. I'm gonna get off here because I'm a complete mess. And, yeah. So, shalom. Shalom, shalom. And I will see you on the other side. I cannot wait to share the actual trip. I did a lot of talking, but I'll put together a video and share all the stuff that I experienced, while I was here. So, see you soon. Shalom.